hello there, YouTube. On this very cool, rainy day out there, 24th, yeah, 24th of August, Saturday. I said on a rainy day, I was gonna bust out and switch this thing around. Now this looks like a way bigger deal than what it appears, but the instructions aren't very clear in some spots. Of course, I haven't tore into it, but it looks like it's pretty much self-explanatory. One of the things I got to do is I got to move the bumper forward because the mount for the because it's going to become a chassis mounted servo instead of an axle mounted servo. The axle is actually a better setup for crawling and steering, but you can't have everything. But anyway, for that plate to mount in there, I got to move the bumper forward. But that'll take away from my. But I might be able to manipulate some other stuff I was kind of looking at the other night when I was talking to you guys. I sat here and pondered life for a while. Well, anyway, I said we're gonna start today is with that. So hang tight. I'll take some things apart here and see how well this all works out. So what I'm going to tackle first is the front end. Yeah, see, this is just a fixed. There's no slipper clutch in it. Probably don't need it for a crawler, but you know, I'll put it in there anyway. There's a little Fusion SE 1800 kilovolt. I think I called it kilowatts the other night. Didn't mean to say that. There's my little Amazon special servo, Amazon special metal servo plate. That all of that's not going to work no more. So I'm going to tackle the front end first, and we'll get that done. See, this is where, because the plate, I'm using one of those screw holes to hold the wire. There's going to be a screw that holds that the plate that'll now hold the servo, but this needs to move forward, and I actually have it moved back, so it's going to be sitting on those front. Can't see nothing without no light, can we? Get my nifty little light out. So those two screws will be at the very end, so that bumper is going to go out a bit. See the two at the front, how they're separated by two in the middle? Well, it's going to be only two up front. So it's gonna, this whole plate's gonna move so that just those last two are gonna be holding on to the bumper. So that's gonna make the bumper weak, and I don't know. I think I can move this back. I may have to trim the bumper, but if I ever, well, I never take this kit off of it, so yeah, we'll just see how it works out. Yep, I use a zip tie for that back hole on this side too. Don't know what it's holding. It's not holding anything. Oh, I just ran a zip tie in there probably because it was loose. The fender was probably loose. Anyway, let's tackle it. Sit here and look at it all day. We got to dive in at some point. Let's do it now. So this is the first real look at the difference between what came on the Gen 7 and what this kit is. And as you'll see, you know how the portals, but you can see how the portals drop because they go, you know, just like a truck or whatever, it just goes straight across. And instead of the axle being right here, it's down here. See, there's a drop. The distance, you can see the axle coming out of the housing, and then the axle where the wheel's going to touch. Well, in doing that, there's a small gear and a large gear that creates that crazy difference. That's why you got to change the pinion and spur gear. They weigh about the same. If nothing else, that thing is for sure heavy duty. But all of this I won't be using because it's going to be completely replaced by this. And then, oh, let's spin around so you can see the front. That mount for the for the chassis in there, just kind of in the way. Spin these things around. Yeah, look at that difference. Is that crazy or what? So it does look like it's going to be a little bit wider. And she's definitely going to have a wider stance. I'm telling you, that's the Gen 8 running gear. I can almost guarantee you. It has, the nice thing about the book, it has all the part numbers, so I can look up the part numbers for this and a Gen 8, and I bet you that's all the same running gear. That's probably why it's version 2. It's because the Gen 8's definitely a proven platform, except for their weird steering thing. But people make a big deal out of nothing. I don't worry about that. Never had a problem with it. But you know, metal, plastic. Well, the only thing that's metal is the cover, which is. Oh, you gotta split this whole thing. Oh, that one doesn't even have a cup on the front. I just realized that. So if you had to get in there and service a differential on this thing, oh, you gotta split the whole thing apart. This one, you just pull the cover off, just like a real automobile. Oh wow, look at the thickness. Let me flip this one upside down. Look at the thickness there between the two. That's nuts. Anyway, okay, so I have the front one installed. So now, you know, now it's a 3-link. As you can see, there's only one upper link bar, 2 lower ones, and then you got a Panhard bar right there, going across right there. But you got to adjust the shocks. Let me make this pop down. Drop this all out. But you have to raise the. Put that light over here. Maybe that'll give us some light. Oh, it picked up a screw. Hold on. Let go of that screw. There you go. So anyway, I used the body post. I got away from the Velcro hold down. I can't stand that. So I converted to the body post. I don't mind throwing a couple of pins in them. But this shock linkage thing here, because you gotta, the way it sits on the top of the arm, the shocks, you know, the thing would have way more ground clearance. Well, to put it back to a stock height, which I want, this has to go in here. It's going to sit. You know, these 3 screws here align with these 3 in the back, but that screw's in the way for the body post. If you can see that sitting there, right there. There's my little pointer at when I need it. The screw here. But this body post has screw holes that run along, because this thing's wide. There's these screw holes in the back, and anyway, so I can just move that and just run the screws through there, and instead of using this body post, or I mean this screw here to hold the body post, I can just use the ones in the front, and then I can just, that way I don't have to drill a hole in the shock mount. See what I mean? But I can use these holes because they line up with the body work in there. I just got to have enough screws to do that are the right length. You don't want to push through and hit the bars. You'll make the body post go sideways or whatever. But I've got plenty of screws. I've ordered a bunch from Amazon. But the end result, she ended up being pretty nice. Spent entirely too much time messing with this thing, as I tend to do. But I'm gonna tinker with this some more and see how we end up. The servo's not wired. Actually, they had me unwire it because I thought it went. They actually told me to unwire it because it would. Anyway, didn't need to do it because it mounts at the top. I thought it'd come from underneath, and the screws, you know, went from the bottom up. But look at the difference here. Something a little light up here. You remember the piece of tape? Look at it now. I can slide my whole hand underneath that thing. It's not until it gets to my arm that it hits anything. Now that is some proper clearance. That's not always best in all applications, but portal axles get you that gain that makes you crawl over stuff. And the stock ones, as you can see in the back, yeah, that's the difference. That's what I have back there, and this is what I have up here. Slide your hand way underneath it. I can't even get past my knuckles on the back. That's the way it was, front and rear, like that. That was pitiful. That's magical. So take that old Gen 7 and turn her into a proper crawler. I have to trim the fenders because I ended up, using the same mount and drilled a hole in there because my post up here just wasn't going to work. But because that plate is moving the shock out, what is that? A couple millimeters or something? I don't even know where my thing is. It's thicker than you think. Yeah, it's 3 millimeters. So that plate is 3 millimeters thick. So that moved the shocks out. And there's where I lost my clearance between the edge of the fender and the shock. So it forced the shocks to go out at the top. Now I could trim those collars, but it'd be much easier because it's going to do it on the back too. Just take a Dremel and I'll mark where I need to do it, and I'll just put a little oval there at the shock. I'll just a little loop. Just make everything work like it does, because the shock is pretty much straight, the flow of it going through the truck. But you can see where the fender wells are hitting because it moved out 3 millimeters because of that plate. No big deal. Plastic, literally just knock the shocks loose and just go whoop with a Dremel tool. Make it look nice, because the same thing's going to happen when I do the rear. The worst part of this whole thing is I gotta take the transmission apart and replace the shaft. I haven't looked to see which one it is. Actually, I think that's part of the slipper clutch setup, but whatever. Well, that might not be so hard, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I gotta take the tranny apart to do that, because it's that shaft right there that's going to get replaced. So, boom, all of that's got to come apart. Yeah, you can see my servos just floating around in here. I literally didn't have to touch it. Maybe a little bit, because that does take some different turns. Plus, it's giving me an opportunity to route that a little cleaner. I'll make a nice clean path heading out, and I can use my body post as a little zip tie. However, I end up having it run out. But yep, that's very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. There's the old Fusion. Everybody loves the Fusions. Anyway, and you can see the ride height didn't really change. I might have to go to the farthest one back. I don't know. I'll play with the suspension, because it's going to change up here as well. I'm pretty sure I was in the middle when I didn't pay attention. I guess I could look back at the video before I took it apart. But I was pretty sure I was in the middle, but everything kind of, because this is so much taller. See where they mount down low on the stock ones? These mount towards the top here. So kicking it back would lower it. Gives you a little more body, makes it a little more twisty. term just escapes me for the moment. But yeah, can't wait. The old Gen 7. Kelly will have fun with this now. She doesn't, it's such a pain to drive because it hits everything that she doesn't really like driving it that much. And because I went, I was telling you early on that, it went up 2 holes. Well, I can go back 2 holes. I'll have to trim the end of that, to make clearance for stuff. And I can move the bumper back to where it was, so it's not hanging out here as much. But, that was the reason I moved it like I did, because it kind of made it stiffer. But I guess it's some good flex. It's kind of rubberized plastic anyway. Need to get some real hooks up here. Those are just plastic. But you know what? They'll work. If you needed them, it'll work. Anyway, I think that's all I'll tinker with this for tonight. And, or this afternoon, whatever. Get out there and do a goodbye with Mama. If it's not sprinkling. Actually, I think the skies are getting a little brighter out there, so we'll go check it out. So, sorry for, if you're not into RC cars, just click on past. Otherwise, thanks for hanging around. Look at the mess I got in here now. Big old mess. All right. All right, let's get with Mama. Well, hello there, you two. Look at this at the very end of the day.
Now it's going to clear off.
Now there's some skies out there that look pretty nice. I don't know if I can get any of that to show up. The backwards camera never works good for him. But yeah, brightness out here.
I know, it's been cloudy and dreary and
off
all day.
Off and on raining, and just everything stayed wet most of the day.
Mm-hmm. Now it's going to dry up because it's getting dark.
Yeah, it was the day was like a series of. I watched some TV. I watched some videos. I think I took 3 naps. And when I woke up from the last nap, it's just dead silent out there. And I come out, and Kelly's all rolled up in her comfy chair, just out cold. I think one of the dogs finally woke her up.
It was nap day.
Absolute bums today.
Mm-hmm.
It felt great.
Yes, it did. Now we're going to be up all night.
Yeah, and tinkering with an RC car. That's my whole day. That's fun. You need one of those every once in a while. It actually felt really good. But like Kelly says, I'll probably be up until all hours of the morning.
I know. It'll be about 2, 3 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, I think, well, better. I'm getting tired now. Maybe I should go back to bed.
I know. And then we'll be dog tired all day tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow it's not supposed to rain, though, is it?
No, it's not supposed to. So.
Yeah. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. Go for a ride.
And then the warm week next week, it's definitely going to be warm, but it's not going to be as close or into the 90s like it originally predicted. But
yeah, high 70s, mid 80s, I think.
Yeah, the nice, comfortable weather.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, I guess on that. Oh, it's 8:03 is sunset tonight. It will be no time before we're going under 8.
Yeah.
Right before the weekends. Well, I doubt it'll make it. Who knows? We'll see what sunset is tomorrow. Probably by Monday, it'll be at 8 or below 8. Dang it.
I know, she's sneaking in.
Yeah, she is. All right. I guess on that, we're going to roll out on you.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Sunday or Monday.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you in the morning.
All right. Bye-bye now.